Hi everyone, welcome to Smriti Special. I'm Smriti Iyer and we are at the Art Studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious egg-free orange cake. So let's get started. If you're new around here, let me catch you up. On my YouTube channel, presently we are doing a series of flavorful cakes where I teach you how to make different flavors of cakes using just one base recipe. This is for you to understand how to use different ingredients, in what proportions, and how you can change it up. The first cake of this series is my vanilla butter cake. If you've not watched it yet, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. Before getting into it, let's start with understanding the ingredients and comparing it to the base recipe. In this, we are going to use some all-purpose flour for our dry ingredients, along with some baking soda and baking powder, which are our leavening agents, which is not going to change. Then for our liquids, instead of milk, we are using freshly squeezed orange juice, which gives the best flavor. For flavor enhancement, we are also using some orange zest. Now I'm using some orange powder here because I keep them dry. You can use some orange zest. For our fats, instead of using cream cheese and butter, we are using all butter. And for some sweetness, of course, we are using sugar. The first thing that we're going to do is to get together our dry ingredients. For that, I have a large bowl here with a sieve. And I'm going to sift my all-purpose flour. Okay, sifting helps lighten everything and it gets rid of any lumps. Then we have the baking powder, baking soda. Okay, since it's an egg-free cake, leavening agents are super important, right? And then just sift it. You see that? We don't need them. To my freshly squeezed orange juice, I'm going to add some vanilla extract. Now this is the vanilla extract that I made. I have a whole video on this. If you have not watched this video, I'm going to link it for you down in the description box. Or use any good vanilla. Let's mix it together and that's our wet ingredients. Now into this sugar here, I'm adding this is some orange zest powder. You can use some fresh orange zest as well. I just like to make this powder and keep in my freezer. Okay, mix that along. There you go. Today I'm making this cake in my stand mixer with a paddle attachment. You can do this in a hand mixer as well if you want. I have my butter in there. Now since I'm making a small cake, I'm going to put all the sugar at once. If you're making a larger cake, you want to do this in batches. Okay, and then we're going to beat this for about 2 to 3 minutes or until it's nice and fluffy. Okay guys, in between your whipping, just get in there with your spatula and give it a scrape down so that all of the butter and sugar combines really well. And we're going to put this back on. All right, look at this. By the way, it smells so amazing with the orange in there, orange zest. All right. Now I forgot to mention one thing. I have used softened butter here, butter which is not too cold or hard or not too melty, because that's the kind of butter that's going to whip up. Okay, that looks nice. And now we're going to add alternately our flour and our orange juice. Now I'm doing this in 2 parts since I'm making a small cake. If you're making a larger cake, you want to do this in more parts. Okay, adding some of the orange juice, and then we're going to fold it at a low speed. Okay, now we're going to add the rest of the flour in there. Okay, and rest of the orange juice, and we are going to again slowly fold it. All right, look at this now. Look how beautiful and light and fluffy this is. You see that? Now we're gonna add it to our pan. Today I'm making this cake in a 6-inch pan which I have lined with butter and then some flour. If you want to learn how to do this properly, go and watch my first cake of this series, which is the vanilla cake. Okay, now we're gonna pour our batter in there. You can bake this cake in any other size pan as well. It's just that the temperature and the time might change a little bit. Now I'm just going to level this off with my offset spatula. Okay, just because for thicker batters like this, it's always best to sort of level everything in the beginning so that it rises evenly. Now this is going to go in a preheated oven at 160 degrees Celsius for about 45 to 50 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. If you're making this in a bigger pan, then it might take a little bit lesser time since the batter will be thinner. Okay, once this gets done, I'll show you what it looks like. Now we are going to make a quick topping for our cake. For that, what we have here in this pan is some freshly squeezed orange juice. Along with this, I'm going to add some sugar, okay, and a tiny bit of cornstarch. The cornstarch is going to help thicken everything, okay, and I'm doing this off the heat. And once we mix everything together, we're going to start heating this on a medium low heat. Okay, you don't want a high heat, and just whisk it constantly until it sort of thickens. Now look at this, it started to boil. Okay, just whisk it until it thickens at this point. Okay, this is not the time to go and attend phone calls. This is not the time to get distracted. Okay, so just pay attention just for a few minutes so that you can finish your cake with this beauty. Look at this, guys. This is what it looks like. Let me show you with a spoon here. When it coats the back of your spoon like this, can you see that? I'm going to show you again. When it coats the back of your spoon like this, yeah, then you know that it's done. Now off the heat, we are going to add some orange zest. Okay, you can use fresh, I'm using dried, either ways. And then we're going to cool it down completely before glazing our cake. My cake baked in the oven for about 50 minutes. Then I let it cool down a little bit, like about 5 to 10 minutes in the pan itself. And then I put it on a wire rack and cooled it down completely. And now we are finally ready to top it. So I have my orange topping here in a piping bag. I'm going to cut. Now let's top our cake with this beautiful. You can also serve it with your slice later when you serve. Now, if you're going to present this cake to somebody, what I like to do, and this might be a little silly for people, but I like to put a little Chinese orange with the leaves because we have the plant and it looks pretty, right? I mean, of course, you can't eat this as is, but it's like a nice little natural decoration. Now it's time to cut into this cake. So for that, first I'm going to remove our beautiful little garnishes. As much as I don't want to remove them, we have to. Okay, so I have a long serrated knife. Use any knife that you want, just make sure that it's nice and sharp. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to cut this into about 6 pieces. Now look at this cake, you guys. Look at that beautiful crumb. And my favorite bit, which complements this cake so nicely, is the orange glaze on top. You have to try it to know what I'm talking about. It smells incredible. Now this is my beautiful orange cake. Now today I'm not going to taste a little bit for you guys because I am serving this later to some guests. But I'm going to describe it for you anyway. It is a really beautiful subtle flavor from the zest itself. Although I'm going to be honest with you, I put a little bit lesser zest here because I was thinking that the dry ones is going to make it too strong, but it's not. So for the written recipe, I'm going to increase the zest a little bit for you guys. For the best orange flavor, do not skimp out on the orange sauce on top because that just enhances everything. The written recipe for this is given in the description box below. Make this recipe, share it with your friends, family, post a picture online on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, so I can see your recreations. Like this video, comment on it because you guys know that your comments really help me out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more delicious recipes. I'll see you again next time. Bye.